Hey guys, I'm Megan.
And I'm Stephanie, and we are
Barn Besties
with farm fresh advice for you. So we are here to impart the knowledge that we have learned over the years of building and running barns so that you guys don't have to have the problems and the misery and the mistakes that we made. Hope you enjoy our videos. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, right?
Right, and we hope to save you time and money on your new adventures.
Absolutely.
Check it out, people. Megan here with Barn Besties. We have a semi arriving, and I'm not gonna lie, I love semis. I love semi drivers, and I love what's in the semi. Because why? It's always for the horses. They get a new package. So guys, what do you think is in the semi trailer that is arriving? I'll give you 2 seconds to guess, and then I'm going to tell you right now. So this is how I get a load of shavings. Actually, I believe it's 12 pallets of shavings. And so we get the fun opportunity. First of all, the semi driver has to get it backed up to the back end of our barn. So when you are building your facility, you got to think about the future. So I used to actually have shavings arrive in a horse trailer a long time ago because we only had 3 horses. Now we have, I don't even want to think about, but 20 plus horses. So that's a lot of shavings we're going through. And so now we get, and this is actually like a half load because it's 12 pallets. I used to order 24 pallets. And it's important to talk to the company that is providing you with shavings or grain, because I've had many semi drivers and some can back up, some can't. And this particular fellow did not like our driveway, and so we had a conversation. He was very upset the first day, and so they came up with a conclusion that they would deliver half loads, which is fine. It just means they're coming here more often, but also it does help with cash flow, just so you guys all know, because this is not a cheap endeavor. So you also want to think about that as well when you're running your budget on cash flow, because it's great to have the semi come in and have all your shavings for the year. Actually, this is only half a year, and it really depends if it's a wet year. So you want to be thinking about that. Also, you have to make sure you schedule when to do it, because in these northern states you cannot just show up. We'll check this out. Check it out. See? And the first 2 pallets are the easiest. The rest, they actually kind of suck. Tony here. Hey Tony.
How are you?
I'm great. So he's handling, it's called a pallet jack. You definitely should invest in one of these if this is going to be what your operation does. Chris is on the case, or like I like to call them, bobcats, and you can see how easy it is to unload those because they're right at the end. But what's also really important is you notice Tony is telling him where to go, right? Because a lot of times when you're in those skid steers, it's really hard to see, and you'll notice I don't unload them. I've done it once in my life, and it might have been the most terrifying experience I have ever had, because my bobcat is not rated, I think, for the weight, or it's just on the line. So first of all, check when you're purchasing a skid steer what their rate is. You know, how much weight can you carry? This skid steer You can see it has tracks on it. It's heavy duty. I do not know the rating on it, but I can tell you for sure he can carry a heavy load, right? And you'll notice there's only 7 layers of shavings. The shavings I used to order by semi was 12 high, so that increases the weight by a lot, right? So when you're deciding how you want to get shavings, because there's also bulk, I hope there'll be a farm in the future that has bulk, or Jessica had bulk, but we really didn't go out at her farm and check it out because it was raining. But I do hope there is a future farm that we can show you what bulk entails. So anyway, when you're planning, you want to get measurements. First of all, you want to know that you have a team, because I didn't know I needed a team. I thought I would be able to easily unload pallets from semis, and I can tell you it was terrifying. I was worried that I couldn't see. I had to rely on the 2 guys that were with me. One was on the ground like Tony is, and the other gentleman was up in the semi, and it was really terrifying, and I thought it was gonna fall back on the cab. And it may be an irrational fear, but even if it is, don't do it. Hire professionals. Tony and Chris don't do that. Well, Tony does it for a living, but Chris is in the skid steer for a living, right? And so he's one with his piece of equipment. I'm a good skid steer driver, but I'm not comfortable managing things above me. So know your weaknesses, know what you're good at, and just don't push yourself, because you can really hurt yourself with these pieces of equipment. And so you can see what we're doing today. He's going to unload the entire semi, and then he will put it in the barn. The other thing, talking about measurements, you see the height on that? Check it out. That's where it's going. And so when I built the barn, I didn't take measurements. So when we had taller pallets, we were cutting the top 2 layers off. Don't do what Megan did. It was a pain. It made for a very long day. And so, and then let me show you this. Wait a minute, I don't want to miss this part. So this is the pallet jack, and neither of them are putting it in by hand. You can see how they're putting it in with the use of the skid steer. So this little handy creature, what happens, and they're also a pain, at least for me, to manage. And so what Tony's doing, he's got to get it turned around and put it under the pallet and pull it out so Chris can get it off the semi, because you can see it's fully enclosed. And so the skid steer's pallets, see, there they aren't that long, right? And so, hopefully I didn't miss it for you. So he twists it, he pops it up, he gets it out, and now Chris can take it out of there. And you can see this is not an easy job. So thank God we have Tony, who is helping, right? And so did everyone see that? I'll make sure to video better next time. Sorry about that, guys. I got just so much to show you. But you see how he's guiding Chris? Because if you can see from this vantage point, that pallet fork guard is in the way of his view, right? So a lot of times you're guessing. You also can't see if the pallet forks are level. So he's telling Chris, you got to rotate this way and you got to rotate that way. And do as I say, not as I do. Also be aware, as the camera woman here, I need to make sure I'm out of Chris's way, right? Because again, his visibility isn't that great in that skid steer. And for those of you who've never driven one, you'll think, oh, he can see me just fine. Don't ever think that. Make sure you give him at least 20 feet when he's backing up, he cannot see you. So be very careful. Oh, let's quit. I think I missed him again. So he put it in there. Now he's turning it around. See how creative he is? He has definitely done this before, but that first, actually it was the third pallet, it's really difficult to unload these. So definitely have a greater appreciation for the men who are getting our shavings to us. So you can see how he pushed it out to the end of the semi, and now Chris can easily, now I don't want to say it's a piece of cake, but it's a piece of cake now, because Tony can push these to the edge. It's about that third one that's difficult to move it around. I'll be on the ball this time, and you'll be able to see what happens. I've always wondered why shavings companies don't use open trailers. We've had one, but it may entail, you know, like as a business owner, you may be only able to afford, you know, one trailer or how many trailers, and then having another fleet of not enclosed trailers. I don't know. Only once have I ever had a shavings company arrive without the walls, and that was really convenient. So there you go. So thank you to our guys. And then I just want to show you, for me, I always save the pallets, because the shaving company that I work with, they're out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Luckily they're close. They take the pallets back, so the initial payment I have to pay for the pallets just in case they don't get them back. So then now every other bill I give them all the pallets back, and I don't have to pay a pallet charge. So remember to always ask questions. Also, payment is typically due on arrival. And again, if you are running your numbers, you got to make sure you have a good cash flow for this operation. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and please share the video if you like it, and definitely subscribe to our channel and support us. We love all the love and hope to continue to make good videos for you guys that are helpful in developing your operation. So there'll be another video. We'll show you how all these little guys go into the barn.